Hello guys, welcome back to my channel once again. So today I'm going to be cutting and sewing the princess dart. So if you've not seen this pattern before, please kindly check on my video. You will see this pattern and how I drafted this pattern. Also, I'll drop the link so that you see it and you'll be showing, and also you can tap on it on the screen. I'm sure it's on the screen, so you'll be able to see it. Now this pattern, if you follow this pattern properly, I shall assure you you're going to get a good result. So we're going to be using this pattern. I'll be showing you everything you need to know about how to sew a princess dart. So obviously the pattern is actually on the fold, so for that I am going to be folding my fabric. Now I've placed this pattern and I'll be cutting it. Remember your seam allowance. This pattern already had the seam allowance attached to it except the ones by the side, and that is why I have to cut the 1/2 inch seam allowance. So now I'm notching all the sides. That notch is very important. Make sure you do that. Now this is the pattern. I've cut all the pattern. So I've cut all the fabric I'll be using, my lining, I've cut my lace, and the African print. Equally, I have notched every part that I need to notch. If you do not notch it, I'm telling you, you're going to have issues when you're sewing a princess dart. So you have to notch mostly your body. Okay, so I've added all my interface that I'll be working with. I've ironed every interface on the African print. I'm going to be explaining this part to you. You see, I used a thick interface because the person I'm making this dress for is like an 85-year-old woman, and she really does not want anything hard on her skin. She doesn't want any heavy thing. She wants it light, but you know, to bring out the beauty of the dress, I have to add a little interface. So for this reason, I added the interface only on the African print, and I used a bit thicker interface so that to still bring out the durability and the firmness of the dress and still come out well. So you'll be seeing that I only did on the African print. I did not do on the lining because of she requested specifically for it. So now you can see that I added the gum, or I ironed an interface also on it. The reason why I did that is because she said she doesn't even want anything padded, but you know, princess dart, if you not added a little pad on it, it will not come out well. So for this reason, I added the paper interface and I did like double layers of it, and that is why I've seen it that way. It's still going to give us nice outcome if I don't want to use the wording and all that cup and everything. So since I'm making it for an 85-year-old woman, I have to be careful and so that she won't have to complain. So that's why I did it this way. So guys, now I'm going to be ironing my hair. I'm going to be using the hemming gum to gum the lace on it. This is specifically if you are using a lace or any other fabric you have on your princess dart or on your fabric. That's the reason why I used the hemming gum to gum it. So it's going to help me to keep it firm while joining it. So I'm just going to show you briefly how I did it. So you just watch how I did it, and remember to use your steam iron when adding any hemming gum to your fabric. Okay guys, so here we are. Now I make sure I re-notched every part that I've notched before. When you add an interface on a notch fabric, you have the tendency of losing your notch, so you have to make sure you re-notch, and that's exactly what I did. So we're going to be joining this princess dart together. Now remember I said your notch is very important. I'm going to be placing my notch exactly to their right point. So the bust goes to the bust, and now I'm going to make sure I pin it. Okay, so I love starting my princess dart from the end. People do that differently. Some like starting from the armhole side, but I love starting my own princess dart from the from the hem. That's it, where it ends. As long as I have my notches right, I just know that it's going to come out well. So make sure you place your notch properly. That is why your notch is very, very important. Now we're going to be taking it down, taking it to the sewing machine. Before then, whenever you want to sew your princess darts, always make sure that you use the machine that is comfortable for you. So I love using my manual machine anytime I'm making a princess dart, sewing a princess dart, because I feel comfortable and I feel I can control the stitch. So I'm using my manual machine and I'm going to be sewing 1/2 inch. It has to be 1/2 inch. Do not miss it. Okay, now here, this is me sewing it. Remember I said I have my notches. Now I'm going to be making sure that they are placed. I'm sewing 1/2 inch. I'm not missing it. It has to be 1/2 inch. But in some cases, when you get to that area where I am right now, you might find that the pattern of the side might move a bit. Yeah, leave it. If it moves like a bit, like 1/4 inch away from the actual design, it is still okay, because sometimes the fabric might want to adjust itself, and as long as it's not away from your plan. But if it's a 1/4 inch, the side moves out, there is no problem. Just maintain your 1/2 inch and you keep sewing. Just gently. As a starter, you can do this over and over again. It doesn't matter. You can do it like 20 times before becoming good at it. It doesn't matter. As long as one day you're going to be able to do it well. So this is it, guys. I have sewn the both sides and this is the outcome, looking very nice and looking very neat. Like I said, keep giving it a trial and it will come out. Okay guys, let's do the back. Now I'm tracing out the bust line so that I'll be able to explain the back. Now we're going to be making a straight line connecting to where that notch is, up to the bust line. Good. Then another thing we'll do is to come up 1 inch above the bust line. Remember that where the dart for the back stops is 1 inch above the bust line. Now the next thing is to come to the dart line, create your dart leg. That is 1/2 inch on both sides to create your dart leg. Now I'm connecting this dart leg to the bust, to the dart point. Okay, so I'll be connecting the dart leg to the dart point. That's okay guys, so I've drawn the both sides for the dart leg. Now I'm going to be picking from the middle line. I'm picking from the middle line. So when I get to the machine, I'm going to be sewing from that dart leg up to the point of the dart point. Now one thing is that when you get to the dart point, please do not return your stitch. When you do that, you might end up not having a good dart ending. The sewing might not be neat. So for that reason, you just sew and you have this thread. Now after what you just do now is to tie the thread. Do not return your stitch. All you need to do is you tie. You just give it like the double knots and you are good to go. Yeah, so we're good to go, and that is the back for you. Remember to do all this sewing for your lining also. Okay guys, so what we're going to be doing right now, I'm going to be showing you the back of what I've done, because I've closed up with my line. Remember that this line I did not put any facing, because the person is an elderly woman and she doesn't want anything heavy on her body. So I have turned out the lining with 1/2 inch. I've turned the neckline and I've notched it, very important, and I've notched all the darts, the bust point and have the under bust point. If you do not notch, it will not be flat, it will not come out well. So that is it. So, and I've ironed it properly. So guys, this is what the princess dart is all about, and this is also the back. So let's join the back and the front together. So for the purpose of for our beginners here, that's the reason why I keep doing this video, like I always emphasize all the time, because yeah, you have to keep practicing how to join the shoulders till you're perfect. So this is how to join the shoulders, very easy. You just watch how to turn with your lining. Just make sure your seams are properly facing each other. They have to face each other properly, the lines of your seam, the back and the front. If you do not do that, you won't get a proper good result. So this is it. I've joined mine. So guys, what we're going to be doing now, we're going to be joining the zipper. Remember that we turned in the zipper, right? So when I was turning it, I used half of an inch. I remember there was 2 inches zipper allowance. So now I'm going to be taking down that 1.5 inches left. First of all, I'm going to be pinning this part. Both the back shoulder line have to be aligned properly. So I pinned this so that it will not move, so that it will enable me to get my zipper. In some cases, one part might be would have more seam or less seam. So that is why if you pin that shoulder, whatever excess will be at the zipper side, it will be easy for you. So I'm going to be taking down 1.5 inches. That is what I have just done now. I have ruled it and I have sewn it down with my gather stick because I'll be loosening it later. So this is what we have, guys. This is the outcome, and it's looking very neat. Do not also forget to okay guys, so now I'm going to be shaping my dress, and to shape it, you just go down, get your bust point. Get your bust point. Remember your bust points. Remember I used 9.5 for this person, so it's 9.5. Then here I'm using under bust 12.5. Then the remaining is the length of the dress. So guys, now I'm going to be taking out the excess, which is now going to automatically become my seam allowance. So the excess here is 1.5 here, and the other side is 1.5 thereabouts. So guys, what I'm going to do this also for your under bust. Get out the excess. The excess becomes your seam allowance. I also do that for the waistline. So, and once you're done, you connect all the lines together and you go to your machine and you sew it down. So this is my outcome. Do not forget to also shape your shoulder. Find out what is left for the shoulder and also shape your shoulder. Like, you check your neckline, what you have, then you subtract it from your, and you subtract it from what you're expecting from your shoulder. Once your shoulder is well shaped, this is what you have. You can join this to your jumpsuits, whatever you want to join it with, your skirts or anything. So this is the final look of the dress. This is what I have done with it. This, you can see the princess dart, very neat on the mannequin, and this is it. I just added a simple flowy skirt to it. It's not too full, kind of scanty, but still looking good though. Then I just added my lovely sleeve. I have a video of this sleeve. It's a simple sleeve. I just came to my mind and I just did something like that. So guys, thank you for watching, and always remember to stop by. Bye.